Okay, so we are reaching the Twin Dams, and still no tracks here. And the reason why we look for tracks actually on the roads is because animals do utilize the roads a lot, and the reason being it's less energy that they need to waste by bashing their way through the bush. They do actually waste energy. And that's why you get these game trails forming. And every game trail at some stage should lead to water. So if you have a game trail that leads into another game trail, and eventually, as I say, all game trails will actually lead to a water source. So if you know the behaviour of the animals when they usually go and drink, then you can actually find water if ever you're lost in the bush. And it's the same with any animals across the world. So if ever you're stuck anywhere in the world and you know the habits of the animals, then just follow those tracks. Depending on which direction they go in, you can either head away or continue following them. And it sounds like Cedric was just saying it was one of the Majingi lions with 3 sticks. I thought I heard the update saying it was the young male. I'm sure he said the young Madoda, but it sounds like he's been there. So I think he may have been referring to Majingi lion as a young male because his mane hasn't yet developed. Okay. So yeah, if I can just confirm if it was the young 6 male or the Majingi lion. I'll see if I can ask Johnny a bit later. Sorry, you're breaking up a little bit there. So there has definitely been an increase in movement of insects. So with the warmer temperatures approaching and obviously the rains, then it is starting to awaken quite a few insects, as I was saying earlier about the crickets calling. That's going to bring in a lot more possibilities of seeing a whole range of insects as we go into summer. And I believe we get inundated with insects. So I'm looking forward to that one. Hi Dave. Dave from Toronto. Welcome on board this morning. Great to have you with us. and just wondering if Karula is still with her kill. Well, Dave, we're actually heading up that way. As I say, it was 6 of one, half a dozen the other, which direction we took. I thought I'd quickly check out Galego's shortcut. It's just on Hyena Road, and at that stage we weren't able to go past the lodge. Still waiting for guests to leave the lodge. So it was either we go up and around and down, or we come down and check out, see if those lines have crossed over the boundary, which doesn't look like they have at the moment, it's still in the south, and then up towards Hyena Road. So we're definitely heading that way now. As we come up Twin Downs Road, we start to head towards Spaghetti Junction. Spaghetti Junction, I don't think it's actually named on the map, but it's where, if you follow Battalier Road and Vulture's Nest and Nyala Road south, all those three roads where they join, that's Spaghetti Junction. And that's where we are now. So we're actually in the Milwati riverbed, and once the rains hit, this is going to swell up, and maybe it might be difficult to cross depending on how heavy the rains are. So it may actually mean if we want to go this side, we have to try and drive all the way around. It's certainly going to be quite fun seeing if we can get through the water or not. Like we're actually having some slightly better signal today. Usually we get a few breakups in there. And some of you are actually asking when I'm going to Australia. I'm getting very, very excited now, because it's just over about a week. I fly out around the 7th of September. And I'm really, really looking forward to getting out there. And I am hoping that I'm going to go and stay in the Blue Mountains just outside Sydney. See if I can stay over in one of the campsites there and hopefully see if I can see some wild kangaroos. I've worked with kangaroos before. I've worked with quite a number of kangaroos, ranging from the huge red kangaroo, which is about 2 meters tall when it stands up and towers over me, and the western grey kangaroos, right through to swamp wallabies, and even down to the tiny little bettongs. Bettongs are about this sort of height from here to here. Tiny little kangaroos and potoroos. I've worked with quite a number of different species, so I really love to see them out in the wild. And I think it would be eastern grey kangaroos around by Sydney, but maybe something Australian people or maybe other people that know if they are the eastern greys that I'd be more likely to see out there. And of course I really want to see a platypus. The two big ones I'd love to see, and I have a feeling I'm probably going to have to go to the zoo to see them, because I haven't really got too much time out there. But to see a Tasmanian devil, excuse me, and a platypus, a duck-billed platypus, I'd love to see those two. And the reptile I'd love to see is a thorny devil. It's a lizard with big thorns all over its body. And I remember actually telling my mum about this when I was very, very young, and she still remembers when I was discussing this thorny devil. She actually was asking me the other day, so you're going to try and see a thorny devil? Which I found quite amusing. So we're on Vulture's Nest Road at the moment. The vultures seem to have left the nest. I think the youngsters grown up and fledged. Hi Joe, welcome on board this morning. Great to hear from you. From Vancouver. Got a few from Vancouver this morning. That's actually somewhere I'd like to go. Like I said, I love travelling, I must admit. Seeing different places and different cultures, and obviously the wildlife in those areas, always awesome. But just wondering if the big cats use the game trails, if it's a good place to hunt, and it can well be. They can use the game trails and wait in ambush for animals to come by. But they'll also use them to move through the bush as well. And that's why when we do follow the leopards, it's actually quite good to see where they go off along the road, because chances are it's a path that they utilise a lot. And there is that one path that I've seen Karula use and Induna the other night used exactly the same path. And obviously Karula's going to be teaching her cubs those pathways. So if ever I do see Karula using a pathway, see I'll remember it, and also watch out for the boys using that too. And as I say, it's just less energy wasted. So one animal will take, and the way they actually form is they'll actually take the easiest route through the bush. So instead of just trying to make a straight through road, it's actually moving around the bushes and the trees. But it is the least amount of resistance from the bush. And then the second animal will also take that route. And if you watch animals moving into the bush, quite often they'll go in one line. It's because they're using those same routes. Especially when the vegetation dies back, you can see these game trails quite nicely. I wonder if we can actually just have a look at this one here. This one just to my right here. There. You can see the pathway. You can see it's actually bare just here, and you can almost work out where the trail goes through the bush. As I say, it's just the vegetation has been walked on so much that it's very, very little can actually grow and not be disturbed. So that's why you get quite a well-trodden path. And obviously it's the same as in humans as well. If you go walking in certain areas, and people use the same pathways, and if people cut corners, then that vegetation gets trampled on so much that it dies back and it's disturbed too much for anything else to grow. Exactly the same principle. Okay, we need to look out for a 2-track leading off Hyena Road. I haven't actually been to the site, so it's going to be quite fun trying to find it. Is there any station next to Bambas where the Ingwe was? I'm just trying to find out if anyone's in the area where the 2 Bambas were on the Hyena Road, where the Ingwe was. Copy, can I join you?
Very welcome.
I confirm, does the 2-track Bamba off to the west of Hyena?
I'm going to first judge for the line 4. I'm going to through the Buffalo Road, so take that there, I'll stop to pull out and want to pull out of the train. So, I'll send up. So, I'll get on my entry.
spot the two tracks. I think everyone would have used the same one. It should be on this side of the road. Hopefully Sebastian's helping me to look. Aha. Aha. Sebastian reckons he's sleeping. We're just looking for any depressions in the vegetation. And obviously the vehicles actually, you should be able to see when the vehicles turn off. At the moment, that's what I'm looking for. I say with the amount of vehicles that have been going there, we should really be getting something of... Oh yeah, you know. Quite a young, oh, there's two of them. I think the communal den is up here. I really do. Here comes the three little ones. Come on, little hyenas, show us where the kill is. Looks like they're going to come around this way. Moving around at the moment. The two are actually just behind the vegetation. Come on, little one, come out onto the road. Okay, I'm going to move forward a little bit because let's see if we can see. Because they're all just behind bushes at the moment. I think it is going to come out onto the road. Yeah, here we go. Come on, little one. Okay, here we go. Just this one here. Oops, where do we want? Looking behind. They keep looking back. There's the two little ones still off to the right, and they keep looking back towards that area. I remember I had a drag mark along here a little while ago. I mean, it's just behind us, isn't it? So I can start up again and just see if I can move. At stations, I got 3 on BZ on Hyena Road. On Hyena Road.
Confirm Hyena Road.
Affirmative. I think they're going to make their way towards where the bombers are.
Coming from Catalan.
They're fambering west at the moment. Copy that. I'm still fambering from central into the north. It's the site a bit further north on Hyena. I'm actually not too sure either, I think. It looks like it's quite interesting what's going on, because it looks like they've caught the scent of something, but it's almost as if they're not wanting to go too far from the den. But I have seen these hyenas, especially the smaller ones, quite far away. I'm going to try and follow them and see if they're going to lead us to the den site. So I think they keep looking back into that direction. And I don't, whoops! Saw the people and put the brakes on. I'm going to follow them. Is the 2-track a bit further up? Awesome, thank you. No, I haven't. Awesome, thank you. Morning. We've gone too quickly. Ah, unless it's here. Looks like there's quite a big hole here. It does look like it hasn't been used, that's the only thing. There is a big hole. I wonder if this is an old den. I think they've gone further on. Okay, well let's continue on, see if Karuda's there, and then I'll have a scratch around here then. I think Karuda might still be there, but I don't know if she's moving or not. And it seems when you said that we just need to go a little bit further up. I say when it's a communal site, all the vegetation kind of does get a little bit of a beating by the sounds of it, and you tend to find very bare areas. Yeah, that's got a spider web in it, so it's not been used. So I think it's an old one. And there should be bones and things like that around. Let's go this way. So I think it does tie in with the fact that I was saying the hyena den that we found a few days ago is where she's just given birth, and those pups are still very, very small, and she's going to move them to the communal den site, and I wouldn't be surprised if it's around here. Just those pups are probably about 8 months old that we just saw, so they are going out and foraging. And they all of them ran off in that direction, and they kept looking back over the shoulder. Something funny was going on with them. This is the 2-track then. And hopefully you guys can see what I mean. You can see where all the vehicles have been going in here. You can see the vegetation all completely flattened, which is obviously what I was looking for. I couldn't see too much on that road. Sorry? Ah, another hyena. So they obviously do know where the site of the kills are. So we're getting so much activity from the hyenas. And again, look, walking directly that way, so it can't be. There's a little bit of moisture still in the air. I can still feel it, so I'm not going to follow this one back. I do want to see if we can get to the site and see if Karula is still around, just in case we do have to finish a little bit early. Okay. And I think it's not too far up actually. Yeah, this is... Okay, I can see Karula, she is still there. This is first kill, because remember she killed 2. So this is the day kill by the looks of it. And one of the youngsters. I remember hyenas aren't able to climb trees, so that's why this kill is still up in the tree. The hyenas haven't been able to get to it. I do see one cat in the tree. You can see this little one's still very, very fluffy, showing that it's still immature. Again, probably about 8 months or so, they do start to go around and scavenge and go around and join the adults. And if anybody is joining us for the first time, we are on a live safari here in South Africa in Djuma Game Reserve. My name is Tara, I'm your guide. There's Sebastian on camera and Herman in final control. Did you get a picture of the kill? But I think we're going to go and just have a look at the leopard, because I'm a bit worried about the rain here. Let's just have a quick look. And again, it's not that far off the ground, it's only about 2.5 meters, but it's obviously high enough not to be a problem for the hyenas to get it. Do you need me to move, Graham? Good morning. Do you need me to move? Okay, let's go and see if we can see the leopard. hear beeping sounds. There is the lady. Park here. Alright, little one. Hey, lady. Long time no see. Good morning. Oh. Good, how are you? So beautiful having a typical leopard pose. I don't know, can you maybe pan across to the other side of the branch and see where the other colours? Yes, you can pan across to the other side. So that's the remains of the Steenbok. So it does look like she hasn't been joined by another leopard. 3 hyenas coming in now. There's a lot of movement just up on the other side of Hyena. I think it's that side. Either in Buffles Hook or just on this side, just in between Hyena Road and the fire break. There was a lot. I was actually going to follow these guys, but I lost them. I think it's here, and I've seen drag marks this side as well. Obviously, Hyena's getting quite frustrated. Oh, there's actually a 4th one. All they can do is just sit and wait. I think some of the other clan members may have pasted that tree. I bumped into the 3 of them on Hyena just as I was coming in, and they all 3 of them went back into the bush, and I actually followed them to a mound, but that mound doesn't look, just more this side, literally just to the east of Hyena, but it was just maybe 100 meters south of that little 2-track entrance. It was just more east. I think it is. I think it's in that block there, because these 3 little ones that we've seen, they're the ones that I saw on that side. And so they kind of kept looking over and kept looking back, all 3 of them back towards a certain point, and I think that was where it was. But I lost them as they ran off into the bush. Do you need me to move? Do you need me to move? Yeah, I'll just pull forward a little bit. Yeah. Sorry? Oh, is there a log? Thank you. Get past there, yeah. Hey, lady. Alright, enjoy, guys. Okay. Hi Deborah, welcome on board this morning. Now I can speak a little bit, so we don't want to disturb the guests too much. They're very, very close to the vehicle. But wondering how long a leopard can actually eat from a carcass, because obviously the meat at some stage is going to go a bit rotten. But they've got an incredible stomach, very strong stomach already, so they can eat pretty far gone meat actually, and I say they seem to be able to utilize a lot of meat that maybe other animals can't. But obviously the hyenas also, I mean, they're going to be also eating quite rotten meat, so there'll always be something that will be able to eat. I say that the acids in the stomach are very, very strong. Even the vultures, if it does get to a point where it's either too hard or they're not able to eat it, if it gets dislodged, or a vulture or even a bateleur or tawny eagle finds it, they'll still be able to eat off the carcass as well. So it doesn't really get to a stage really that nothing's going to be able to utilize it, as far as I know. I say just the fact that their stomachs are used to it, they're used to having rotten meat, they are able to utilize it. And if ever there is a stage where a carcass gets left, then obviously you get the insects taking over. I've even seen dung beetles on carcasses. Certain dung beetles will eat bits of meat and things like that. And obviously you've got the maggot fleshu. But as I say, the steenbok, the Dacre, she hasn't even touched by the looks of it. She's just been eating off the steenbok, but her stomach is very, very full already. But she may or may not decide that she doesn't want to have a Dacre. Maybe she'll make another kill, but as I say, digestion-wise, they've got very, very strong stomachs. And vultures, I don't think they've spotted the kills yet. I was wondering if they had, judging by the reaction yesterday, but it could have been, because I saw about 5 outside FC yesterday, and they were all circling. It looked like they were descending, but I think they did gather and they went north. So there may have been a lion kill that they saw instead, because obviously lions taking down something bigger is going to be possibly out in the open, so they're going to be able to watch obviously other birds and obviously animals like hyenas. But there's no bateleurs here, which is saying to me I don't think anything's detected these two, and they're quite small as well, and actually where she's put them, I think it's going to be very difficult to actually see from the air. I think that's why we're not seeing any tawny eagles or any bateleurs around here, and without their presence I think it's going to be difficult for the vultures to really spot these two carcasses. But they may, if they see the hyenas around, that may draw their attention. And quite interesting, lions will also watch the behaviour of vultures. If they see vultures circling, descending, they will also watch their behaviour and follow the vultures to a kill. And what's quite interesting is one of my friends who works with captive lions said she also saw the captive lion watching the vultures. So it must be something that's innate, that's not learned. It's an instinct to watch for that type of behaviour. Because if a captive lion has never had a mother to show a reaction to those birds, and he actually was watching those birds, that's quite interesting. I think this hyena's got the same problem as me this morning, dry throat. Karula made this kill, I think it was yesterday morning, so it's only been a day or so she's still going to have a couple of days worth to eat, and it's amazing how much food they can fit into their bellies. They obviously don't watch their waistline. so they'll eat and eat and eat, and then when you think that they can't eat anymore, they'll start eating again. And she probably will go back to it at some stage once she's digested some of the meat in her stomach. I bet that is uncomfortable now. And there's the young hyena coming in again. Always hoping. And obviously at some stage, if the killer's still around a little bit and she doesn't eat some of it as it starts drying out, then little bits might just give way and drop. So it's always worth the hyenas waiting around. There may be a leopard, another leopard that comes in and dislodges it. You get a little hyena just right at the edge here. And it's turned away now. It feels like those few drops I was feeling has lifted a little bit now. Okay. Hi Laurie, welcome on board this morning. Wondering how much does Karula weigh? Well, I was very shocked at how small she was when I first met her. So she's definitely a small leopard. She's quite an amazing lady considering she's so small. I would probably put her around 35 kilos. At this point in time, I think she possibly does weigh 40 with that belly, but I think usually if she's not eaten, I'd say maybe about 30, 35. I don't think she's a very large cat at all. And also if you go to the other end of the spectrum, males can weigh 60, maybe even 80, sometimes even 90. The male leopard that I helped to collar at Leidenberg, he was definitely twice the size of Karula. He was huge, definitely an 80 kilo male. You see her beautifully on her head now, that wow in between her eyes. She is a stunning cat. And if we do have any new viewers, I'm not too sure where to send questions through. Send them through to funnercontrol@safari.tv. And this is coming to you live from Jima Game Reserve. So what you're seeing is basically what we're seeing in real time. And the beauty about it is we don't know what's going to happen. So anything is possible. And nothing is ever the same. And this is our resident female leopard. I'll just give you a bit of background about her. She's just over 6 years old now. And she has been seen mating on the 1st of August, 1st and 2nd of August. So it'll be about 3 months, if she has fallen pregnant, it'll be about 3 months before she gives birth. And then she will hide the cubs away in a den, and she will move them around to stop attracting any attention from hyenas and other predators that may, if they do come across the cubs, they may kill them and eat them. So she'll hide them away for about 6 to 8 weeks before they're strong enough to really come out and venture out into the world. As I say, it's quite curious. Apparently she was calling yesterday, and that's how the guys actually found her. I think Jared found her. They were looking around, and she was calling. And I think there was a question yesterday about leopards calling, and as I say, leopards call to attract or to communicate with other leopards. So I do wonder if she was still calling one of the boys. Maybe if they were calling in the area, she may have called them, and I was hoping to find maybe one of them around here, but it doesn't look like anyone has responded to her calling. Something caught her attention now. And it's kind of a soaring, it's like I'll say my leopard impression is not great. It's roughly like that. What have you seen maybe? And obviously being up in the tree, it's going to give her quite a good vantage point. She's going to be able to see what's going on. We still have one hyena with us. I can actually see there's a couple of other hyenas just off to the left. You won't be able to see them too well with the camera, so we've got at least 3 hyenas still around. And just as I was saying the other day, marula trees make a very good sleeping post. You can see the branches almost horizontal. I say it does make a good spot for them. And if there were lying around and they were hungry, they probably could get into this tree, and where she's put it, it's still on a very, very thick branch. So if there was lions, then there could be a possibility of her losing her kill at this point in time. But I don't think she needs to worry about it too much at the moment. I say, with those lions calling that we heard first thing this morning, I think they are still quite far south. The Styx Pride, with either one of the Majingi lions or the Styx male being at Bush Lodge. That's what came through this morning. But I'm still very convinced now that the communal den is this side. Just judging by the reaction from all these hyenas, and especially with them being a lot of them in the area, and the youngsters coming from that direction, I really do think it's somewhere to the east of where we are, somewhere east of Hyena Road and west of Buffers Hook Dam. I think it's in that block, and they could either be just into the north in Buffers Hook, or, as I say, still in that little block just south of the fire break. You see those huge paws, and obviously that's going to help them to grip when they do climb. Okay. Hi Diane, welcome on board to you this morning. Just joining Game Drive. I hope you're enjoying seeing Karula lying in the marula tree. I'm just wanting to know how far pregnant is she. I say it is very difficult to say if she has fallen pregnant, but we saw her mating on the 1st and 2nd of August. The 2nd of August we actually had it on film, and both times with Yambili or Dan. So if she has fallen pregnant, then she's under a month already. Or just coming up to a month actually, we're getting to the end of August now, aren't we? So if she has fallen pregnant, then we'd expect the cubs towards November time, but I think we'd expect to see them somewhere around December, so I think it's hopefully going to be an awesome Christmas present. I really do hope she has fallen pregnant. But I do wonder who she was calling yesterday. And as we've been saying, and I say Lisa has given in obviously in some information about the exploded pride theory, and I was trying to read some of it yesterday and trying to find some more about it, but it's a very new theory, and especially with the Sabi Sands, there's such a high density of leopard here. Obviously the area can actually support such high densities because of the amount of prey that's here. But elsewhere, you're not really going to see as many leopards in an area. So again, it really does depend on the area, and there's different factors that are involved, different obviously climates, different amount of animals, and some leopards will have quite a huge territory, and obviously an even larger home range, but they won't maybe overlap as much as the leopards do here. I mean, in just one area we have Karula, who we're looking at now, her two boys, Mishun and Duna, Yambili or Dam, the other male, Mafufanyan, comes into this area. White Cloth, one of the females who died recently, and her cub came into this area. And then you have Saseka and Tingana, who also come into this area, which are Karula's daughters, and the grandmother, Safari, Karula's mother, also comes into this area. So in this small 1,000 hectares that we drive, there is a possibility of seeing those leopards. Whereas if you go to other areas, you're really going to have one leopard patrolling at least just the 1,000 hectares. So on the old reserve, we knew of possibly 3 leopards in 22,000 hectares. There was possibly more that overlapped, but there was possibly only 3 leopards that had those 18,000 hectares as the main territory. There could have been maybe up to 13 leopards that came over onto the boundaries, but we never saw them that often. Oh, what an absolute pleasure sitting with the Queen of Juma in the tree. And she's got 2 kills. There's actually one in the tree where she's sitting, and there's one in the tree that's actually just behind us. And we've joined a stakeout with the hyenas surrounding us, just to the left and right of us. Absolutely fantastic way to spend the day. And considering leopards are so small, considering how stocky they are as well, it's not really surprising that they are able to pull down large prey. But even so, they are still fairly small compared to a lion, and yet I've seen pictures of leopards killing and eating a 3-meter crocodile. See, we've heard of the ostrich being pulled down from Penny yesterday. So they really are quite amazing cats, actually. But what Karula went for is a steenbok. That's in the tree where she is. It's just opposite where she is lying. And a duiker in the tree just behind us, where I was pointing out just now. But again, that's the difference, or one of the differences between the leopards and the cheetah. She's much more stocky, and obviously they need those muscles for climbing the trees. I mean, these animals can take in bits of meat, bits of animal that are quite huge compared to their body size, but also weight-wise. I've seen pictures of 2 leopards in a tree with a giraffe. Well, I think it was about half a giraffe, but still, it was... Obviously, how they got it up there is an absolute mystery. They really must have battled to get it up there, whether both leopards actually helped each other. And that just takes me back to the exploded pride theory that Lisa has told us about. And as I say, with the amount of leopards in this area, it's quite possible. And maybe where leopards have chance, maybe they are a little bit more sociable than what we give them credit for. And you never know, maybe they do help each other out on kills occasionally. And there's obviously the females with the cubs. And she's going to be teaching them how to kill, and I have heard when they are sub-adults they will work together to make a kill. So if they are capable of that, why not when they are adults? Apparently she's getting a bit uncomfortable there. And that's the thing, it's what we know is changing all the time. So as new research is coming about, more questions are being asked, and obviously when we're able to do things like this, and obviously opening up nature to the world. Also, we used to rely quite heavily on the documentaries, and now that there's more and more reserves and people going on safari, it's obviously a big business now. And we're actually seeing a lot of things that can't be explained or have never been explained in books. And it could also be that as the whole circumstances are changing, so too are the animals adapting to that change. Because I often wonder if the amount of hunting has changed. The social structure of white rhino, for example. So apparently there was people who wrote about crashes of 30 strong in some areas. And yet if you read the books, they're supposed to be solitary, especially when I was a kid. I was always under the impression that rhinos are solitary creatures, they don't like company, and from what I've seen that's actually the opposite. They seem to enjoy the company. And it could be the same for the leopard. Maybe the leopards that don't have as high a density, maybe because of the persecution, it's changed their social structure in that sense, and maybe there should be more leopards in that area and more like the Sabi Sands. It's difficult to say, or it could be that the Sabi Sands is abnormal because of the high amount of leopards in the area. But whatever it is, it's very, very interesting because we are seeing possibly different behaviour from other leopards in other areas. And as I say, what's true for leopards in one area can be very different for leopards in another area, and I think that's exactly what we are seeing here. And they are a very, very successful cat. They're actually the most widespread cat in the world. And they actually do range across quite a number of habitats as well. Even as far up as the Amur Valley, we have the leopards, the Amur leopard. Obviously it's going to have thicker fur to combat the cold. Any stations interested in the one Ingwe, she's still here on the bombers. There's still space for one mover now.
Can I join you?
No matata pulling. And I've even heard of leopard fishing. Yeah, if you read the books, they're not supposed to fish. If you saw on her face earlier, you see there was no dark lines down her face, and that's another way you can tell the difference between cheetah and leopard. The cheetahs have quite a slender face and the dark lines down the side of the face, and it's thought that they use them almost like a target on a rifle. You actually use that to sight the rifle, and it's possible that they use those black lines to sight their prey. Okay. Hi Lindelof, welcome on board this morning. Wanting to know if leopards make their own dens. I think they'll actually find a crevice, like either a hole in the tree or a hole in the banking or something. And they probably will excavate a little bit, but obviously finding the right spot will help first of all, but as far as I know they don't actually dig a full hole themselves, but they'll just maybe excavate an existing hole to make it suitable. And when she does move the cubs, she will pick them up just like a domestic cat, on that loose skin, the scruff of the neck, and move them. And as the cubs get older, they'll obviously start to move around a lot more, and they'll start to investigate a lot more. So if she goes off hunting and the cubs are left, then they will stay in the same area, but they will leave the crevice or the hole that she's dropped them in, and they'll go exploring. You guys want to come in here? I know we can pull out so you can pull in here and get a nice view. Yeah. Okay, I'm just going to move. I'm actually going to go around the other side here, so the vehicle behind us can have a nice view of her. Just in case anybody missed while we're moving, there's a vehicle that's behind us, so I'm just going to give them a chance to see her nicely. So I'm just going to move. Okay. Hi Karen, welcome on board this morning. I'm wanting to try and see if I can turn around a little bit without disturbing the hyenas. Sorry little ones. What I want to try and do is see if we can get the leopard and the hyenas in the view. Little hyena looking at us as if to say, "What's that? Can I eat it?" Sorry, Karen. I'm just moving a little. Just want to see. Are you going to be able to see the hyena past this tree or not? A bit more? Yeah. There. There. Or a bit more. Just there.
Oh, thank you.
And good morning to you, Karen. And just wondering if we're going to not see Karula if she does give birth. Is she going to go into hiding? Oh, we still could see her. Depends on if she makes a kill. So I think she is going to become a little bit more secretive. But anything is possible. If she makes a kill right next to the road, we could still see her. But as I say, she's not really going to start to show that she's pregnant until right at the end. Oh, it's a rhino. Can you see them from where you are? Okay. Are they heading this way? Oh, nice. Apparently there's a rhino with a calf heading towards us. Oh yeah, I can see the ear flicking now. I wonder if she's gonna really make her way here. I think she's already spotted there's something wrong. It's a hard life being a hyena. I'm just about to make out the ear. I'm just going to see which direction, because if she carries on walking here, then it means that we don't need to move and disturb the animals. Otherwise we'll see if we can go and see her. You see the rhino is looking very alert. Both her ears are directed towards us now, so you can't see much. I'm just literally seeing ears twitching behind the bush, and she's probably 70, 80 meters further back from Karula, and that's possibly what Karula was looking at earlier. It doesn't look like she's going to start moving. I think I might just go and see if I can get a better view of the rhino. I'll come back in a little bit. Is there been anybody else asking to come into the sighting? Okay. Cool. So I can stick around a little bit longer. It doesn't look like she's getting any closer, hey? Yeah. Okay, well let's go and see, because I want to see if we can try and see the baby rhino. Oh no, she is moving. I think she's actually going to go to where the daycare is in the tree. I can't pick up which way the wind is blowing. As I say, her ears are twitching like mad. She won't be able to see the leopard or the hyena. She's too far away for that. Their eyesight's not great. So that's why they rely heavily on the hearing. The sense of smell is very good though. I'm just trying to determine which direction the wind's blowing. I think it's actually away from her. Battling to see her.
Yeah, I can't find her.
She's actually just in front of the turn right now. I just start seeing an ear flicking. Yeah, where those bongos were. I think she might have started walking, I'm not sure. Oh no, you can't see the ears flicking. I'm just about to see the movement there. Yeah, I'm just going to continue that way. Okay, I'm going to actually go and meet up with her. Hopefully she comes onto that little tree track. Sorry everyone. I'll be back just now. Enjoy. Sorry? Yeah. Good, thanks. Okay. Hi Jen. Welcome on board this morning, and quite an interesting question from you. And if Karula wanted to get down and the hyenas were still there, would she drop a bit of kill so that she could get away? Quite an interesting one actually. I think it would depend on how long she's been up in the tree. She still has the daycare. Very, very interesting. I haven't seen it. But what I have heard is when leopards have been staked out by lion, they wait until the lions are sleeping and then they... which way you guys? I think as I go this way, the lions are going to go that way, but we'll see how we go. Alright, lady. So I'm not going to go through with you. Really. Can you see okay through there? So obviously on very high alert as it is, I think they do know something's going on here. Sorry? Okay. So I think they have caught wind of something. I'm not too sure entirely what's going on, but they are on high alert. so I don't get too close and scare them off. So it's not the baby, but it's probably about 3, maybe 4 years old, this one. Oh my god, 2 little bee eaters. Just flying in front of them as well. Just there. Okay, we'll be back shortly. We've just got to restart the stream so don't go too far. And we'll stay with the rhino.